What is up, you guys? It is Zach, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I got a microphone arm and stuff hooked up here. I'm trying to improve some of the quality of my channel, and obviously getting a proper microphone arm all set up is a pretty decent step in that process, but that's not what you're here for. We have some gaming news to talk about. Now, this gaming news isn't the usual gaming news I cover on my channel. Well, it kind of is, but it's not like the happy-go-lucky Nintendo stuff. Well, a little bit Nintendo with the first news update, but it's more about other video games that are non-Nintendo IPs or not SpongeBob. And I love talking about this stuff. I love when I get the chance to actually talk about games that aren't like kid games, Nintendo games, because I don't know, I love so much more than I usually get to cover on my channel because no one ever watches other kinds of videos. So if you are watching this video, thank you so much. Drop a like if you can, I would truly appreciate it. And of course, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button as well. But we're going to get started with our first update, our first bit of news, which is about Hogwarts Legacy. Now, obviously, Hogwarts Legacy had a State of Play presentation completely dedicated to it yesterday. I live reacted to it on the channel, and of course, it got copyright claimed. Like, what doesn't get copyright claimed when you react to the trailers nowadays? But anyways, it's looking really, really good. I think Hogwarts Legacy could be my game of the year if the next game I'm going to talk about doesn't surpass it. But nevertheless, I think this game looks so good. It looks so complex, so intricate. If you want a video about me analyzing the trailer and just talking about it, let me know. I do kind of do it in my live stream if you want to go back and watch that. But if you want a more formal video, I can do that as well. But the bit of news I want to talk about today is something they didn't even mention. Well, it makes sense that they didn't mention it given that this was a State of Play event, which is a PlayStation event. Apparently, Hogwarts Legacy got confirmed for the Nintendo Switch. Now, before, when this game was originally announced, Nintendo Switch was not a confirmed console for it to come out on. It was just the Xbox, PlayStation consoles, and PC. But we see here on the website in a little Q&A section that, yeah, the Switch version is actually a thing. We're actually going to be getting a Nintendo Switch version of the game. Now, that led some people being like, well, is it going to be a cloud version, like games like Dying Light 2 and Kingdom Hearts? Or is it going to be the full thing just on a cartridge? Well, box art has actually also leaked of the game, and as we can see, it is not a cloud version if obviously there is box art, and there's not even a thing that says download required. So if they manage to fit it all onto that cartridge, that'll be honestly really impressive. Personally, I think more companies should be releasing more games on the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch has surpassed 100 million units sold. So the power argument's out the window. If you have a platform that could sell games like hotcakes, or at least just sell your game, probably a decent amount of it, then it's worth selling the game on that platform, regardless of any downgrading you'd have to do to the game. It's completely worth it because obviously all these game companies really care about in the end is the payday at the end of it, the money they get. So they would be stupid to not put their games onto a platform that has over 100 million users. Sometimes companies go the cheap way out of it, being like Square Enix did with Kingdom Hearts, or like Techland did with Dying Light 2, which is just to make a cloud version. But I can't say that's technically cheating, because there are some games like Dying Light 2 that might have a harder time running on the Switch. But for games like Kingdom Hearts, like, it's kind of ridiculous that they didn't get that game native to the Switch. But that's a whole argument for a whole other day. The main important thing is Hogwarts Legacy is coming to the Nintendo Switch this holiday season. It seems like it's going to be day and day with the other versions. There's nothing saying that it's not going to be. We could expect a delay because some games get delayed after the fact, even if they are announced day and day with the other consoles. But I do find that really interesting and really fun to see. Hopefully the game performs well, and I cannot wait to see more on it. And like I said, this game comes out in the holidays, so I am very excited. What do you guys think about Hogwarts Legacy? Again, let me know down in the comments down below. Next up, that wasn't the only big thing that got announced yesterday. I believe it was yesterday when this got announced. If you guys know me, one of my favorite horror games ever is Until Dawn. Until Dawn is a story-driven game by the developer Supermassive Games and released on the PlayStation 4. And basically, it's one of those your decisions matter kind of games. You control, I believe it's 8 different characters, and your decisions throughout the game will impact if they survive, if they die, if they get injured, etc., etc. Like, this is personally my favorite survival horror game ever. I love this game. It is so good. And after that, with the success of Until Dawn, they started to release the Dark Pictures Anthology. And my feelings on these games are pretty mixed depending on the games. If you want to watch a video dedicated to talking about this, click the link up in the card at the top. You'll see my video on all 3 current Dark Pictures Anthology games out at the moment. But I do still think they did a genuinely good job. I just did not really care for how smaller scale the games were compared to Until Dawn. Now, naturally, it's an anthology with a game releasing each year, so naturally these stories are going to be smaller. But I really did like the bigger stories, the expansive stories with more characters. I just prefer that just because it feels a little more like a full experience. Well, Supermassive Games, to me, surprisingly announced yesterday a game called The Quarry. Now, if you thought that Until Dawn gave you 80s horror movie vibes, this game is going to do that to the extreme, because even the art for the game is inspired on 80s horror movies. Basically, you take control, I believe, of 9 camp counselors. These camp counselors are having some fun after all the kids went home, and there's now no adults, as the one adult seemed to leave to get something or whatever. I don't exactly know. But nonetheless, that's the main story. You are 9 camp counselors, and you have to survive until dawn. Now, they wanted to clarify that this isn't part of the Dark Pictures Anthology. The Dark Pictures Anthology's next game is actually also coming out this year. It's called The Devil in Me, and that's on track to come out this summer. But this game is more so a spiritual successor to Until Dawn. It's bigger in scope, it has more characters. People want to say, like, this is the sequel to Until Dawn, which it kind of is, but they couldn't call it Until Dawn 2 because I believe those rights, the name Until Dawn, belongs to Sony, hence why they released that crappy PSVR game, Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, whatever. But Until Dawn belongs to Sony. It's almost like Left 4 Dead and Back 4 Blood. You know, Left 4 Dead belongs to Valve, so Turtle Rock Studios couldn't use it. But nonetheless, this game I think is looking super cool. There wasn't really much gameplay, it was all a bunch of cinematics, just kind of introducing you to the characters and the cast of the game. And there are some heavy-hitting people in this game. I mean, the biggest one for me, the name I recognized, was Brenda Song, aka London Tipton in The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Disney series. And to me, it's funny because Ashley Tisdale was in the last game, and now we have Brenda Song. Where are the Sprouse twins? They should be in a game. You know, they should release a game that is based on a cruise ship, because I think they're doing Hotel in The Devil in Me. And they should have Dylan and Cole Sprouse, Brenda Song, Ashley Tisdale, and maybe one other person like Debbie Ryan or, someone like that, and have it be like a Sweet Justice or something like that. I don't know. That could be really cool. I'm sorry, I went way off topic. But, like I said, this game is looking like a true sequel to Until Dawn, even if they can't call it that, and it's honestly looking so cool. I cannot wait to see more of it. The only sucky thing is that it's not coming to Switch. I didn't expect it to come to Switch, so I'm not really complaining about it. I just really want them to make one of these games for the Switch, man. Like, I love, these games. I love the Decisions Matter kind of games, so having that on my Switch would just be amazing, and I really want them to do it. Supermassive Games, if you happen to watch this for whatever reason, make a game for the Switch. Please, I'm begging you. I just want one of these games to make it to the Switch. Now, this is being published by a different publisher, by the way, which is why I'm not afraid to share the trailer, because Bandai Namco, who are publishing the Dark Pictures Anthology, they like to copyright claim trailers, and I'm taking a gamble that they're not going to do this time because of the fact that it's not Bandai Namco, it's 2K publishing the game. So I think that's really interesting. I think the only question I have is, because this game is coming out on June 10th, the same day as Mario Strikers, naturally. I'm hoping that because of the fact that this is coming out in June, and then The Devil in Me is coming out sometime this summer, so mere months from each other from the same studio, that neither project will feel completely rushed. Now, I do feel like The Quarry is something Supermassive Games have been working on for a while. I do believe that this is something they've been working on behind the scenes of everything. So I'm really interested to see how it all comes together, and I'm hoping that the quality of the titles are really good. So what do you guys think about the news from today, about Hogwarts Legacy and about The Quarry? I'm honestly very excited for both of these games. This year, I didn't feel like it was tailored to me as much as years past. I believe I mentioned that in a video before. But with these two games, with Quarry being announced and then Hogwarts Legacy getting more details on it, I am personally now super excited for the rest of this year, and I just cannot wait to see what the rest of the year has in store, and I cannot wait to hear more about each of these games. So what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you all have to say. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All that stuff down below. Hit the notification bell so you're notified of when I upload videos. And check out the merch store. There's some cool ZakPak merch up on there for you to check out. So until next time, you guys, I'll see you in the next video.